Ah, Jesus time. Ah, Jesus time. Oh, we all know who this is, don't we, eh? Oh, it's bloody Jesus, it is. Oh, it's only bloody Jesus. Oh, Jesus. All right, Jesus, how's it going, mate? How's it going, Jesus? Oh, bloody Jesus, it's only bloody Jesus. Jesus Christ, look who it is. Literally. It's only our Lord and Saviour, Jesus the Christ. The one and only true Son of God. Jesus the Christ. Lord and God, Saviour of all mankind. Something, something, something. King of the Jews. Guess what I saw had come through my letterbox the other day. Go on. Have a guess. Go on, have a guess. Go on. I'll give you 200 guesses as to what might have popped through my letterbox just the other day. Go on, have a guess. Leave it in the comments. What do you think it was? This? Jesus Christ! Is that Jesus Christ? I think it bloody is. Luckily this time it didn't have my name handwritten on it. If you do or don't recall, there was one of these in my... I mean, this came through the door, so it might have just been a random stop by. But there was one in... I have a separate little, like a metal mailbox that I open with a key that has my specific mail in it that I don't ever check, except to grab the mail and throw it out. And one time in that mailbox was a card like this. I think it had the temple or some shit on it. And it had written on the back, "Hey Ewan, stopped by to say hi. Give us a call if you need anything," with their number on the back. Which means, more than likely, my wonderful mother gave the local missionaries my address and said, "Hey, you should go and talk to my son sometime." Which, you know, I resent slightly, my address being given out to strangers. Luckily, my doorbell doesn't work and hasn't worked since I've moved in here, which is 10 years now. Jesus. And thank Christ for that. Because that means if people like that, Christians, stop by, they don't disturb me, they don't wake me up, and I don't feel compelled to go down, answer the door, see that it's Christians, slam the door in their stupid religious faces, and then fuck off back upstairs, 2 flights of stairs back to my flat. I didn't at all plan to spend this much time talking about it. I just thought, I don't know, be funny to open up saying, "Hey, look, it's Jesus." Maybe I'll make like a little puppet out of him. Maybe I'll like... Do you know, you get those puppets that, like those paper puppets, those paper puppets that are like a character, like Kermit the Frog or something. And they got a body, and then you get like, they look like testicles, and there's a hole here and a hole here, and you put your fingers through the holes like their legs, and you like make them walk around and dance and stuff, and it just sort of, it's just like a... Have you seen those? You must have seen those little like paper, like cardboard cut out little paper puppet things, and you fingers through the hole, like these are holes, they're cut out, and you fingers, and then you're like, I could make one of those out of this. I could extend I could paint some card to match his robes, and then like have a little Jesus dance. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Would that be sacrilegious? I don't care, fuck it. So this came through my door, and it just made me go. That was pretty much my exact reaction. I was on my way out to do whatever, go to the post office or something. Had all my shit, my coat, my bag, all my shit. I get to the front door, look down, and I see this guy looking up at me. And I went... because I knew instantly the missionaries had been by. And like I say, they may not have been by specifically to see me. This may have just been a random popper thing in the door, because it's not got any. But it does have cum. It's got cum on it. Jesus, it's got cum on it. Come unto Christ. Yo, I bet you'd enjoy that, wouldn't you, Jesus? Way, fucking yes, get in. Jesus, you fucking loaf. So that's something. Now I've got a tiny little Kermit on here. What am I going to do with that? What am I? What am I? What the devil, what the deuce am I supposed to do with all this shit now? Oh look, it's a little froggy frog. That's it's nothing. It's meaningless. Absolutely meaningless. We do have work to do. I do have a thing to work on. So I'll do that. All this guy aside, all this... I was going to say this guy with the Jesus thing, but I threw it and I don't know where it went. Oh, it's down there somewhere. All that, these guys, these two fellas aside, I actually have a thing to draw. I'm not sitting here going, I don't know what to... fuck am I supposed to do? I don't know. And these are the breaks. Break it up, break it up, break it up. I was listening to that previous to recording. All right, I know. I go on and on and on about this a lot, but I keep, and more recently, am still seeing more and more popular internet personalities, people who get popular doing things online on Instagram or TikTok or whatever it might be, like the ho girl, but not quite that level. I keep seeing them, because you see adverts on Instagram as you're scrolling through the feed or as you're going through stories, and I keep seeing faces of popular cunts from the internet advertising products. There's an ad, and then there's sparkles or some shit, and it goes, and there's the face of some cunt who like makes shit online, and they're selling fucking dish soap or bleach or toilet paper or some shit like that. It's just so... it's fucking aggravating. Can anybody just have some fucking integrity? Have some fucking artistic standards for what you do? And of course, because these aren't artists, they are literally content creators. What they make isn't art. They're not art. They don't create. They don't make music. They're not making anything. They're generating content for the algorithm machines. And you could say, well, aren't we all? Really, you know, nowadays that's just sort of how it works. If you're going to be on social media as any form of creative, then arguably we are all, in one way or another, content creators. But these people, it's not like they make art and they have to try to do viral shit to get the art out there, or they think they have to do viral shit to get their art out there. What they do is just, it's content. Oh, here's me reacting to a video someone else made. Here's me reacting to someone else's reaction of a video that someone else already put effort into making. Here's me commenting on a current event. Oh, brilliant. Bloody bully for you. Oh, and look, I got popular enough that a company said, hey, here's some money. Fucking shill for our product. Sell this dish soap. Sell this drain cleaner. Because you make content about how different people in different countries act slightly differently to one another. Oh, bloody brilliant. Here's bleach. Here's some wipes. Here's some wet wipes from a guy who comments on people's clothing. Brilliant. Perfect match. Like, if you're going to sell out, which is what these people are doing. And yes, selling out is a thing. It does go past just being paid for what you do. Because it would be like me getting a deal to sell fucking drain cleaner. Why is that a thing? It doesn't, there's no connection. There should be, they obviously, the first company that comes along waves some money under their stupid noses. They go, oh yeah, please, gimme. Money, I'll sell whatever, I don't care. I don't have standards, I don't have integrity, I just sell whatever you want me to sell if you're paying me to do it. Rather than, like, again, if it were me, it should be fucking Bic pens or something. If they got Ewan to advertise Bic pens, at least that would make sense. There'd be some logic to that. It wouldn't just be mindless bullshit advertising for a product that I don't care about, probably don't use, but I'll sell it. I'll pretend I use it for money. I'll say whatever you want for money. As long as there's money, and the money. As long as there's money, I'll do whatever you fucking want me to do. I don't have morals, I don't have ethics, I don't have standards. Who gives a shit? Fill up my bank account with numbers and I'll do whatever you tell me to. Ooh. Fucking detestable. Oh, but you let people get money. People have got to get paid. They've got to make a living. Yeah, of course I'd sell out in an instant if given the opportunity. I mean, I say that. I can't even respond to an email to actually legitimately have a good thing happen. To take part in an opportunity which could have great... not necessarily have great effect for my career or whatever, but just be good to do in general, to be part of a wider, part of the art community and to connect with my peers. I miss opportunities like that because I can't apparently respond to one single fuck email, and I miss opportunities. So you think I have it in me to shill for products? Jesus Christ, for shit I don't care about. I don't have it in me to do shit I do care about, let alone... Fucking... Fuck a doodle do. Fuck a Jesus in the poo. What a load of crock of shit. Come on, baby, suck my tits. I'm not mad about it. It doesn't affect me in any way. It's just annoying to be swiping through. It's annoying enough to see adverts. They're bullshit. They're the worst. Not the worst, but they are one of the worst fucking things. Because they're a symbol of a grander, oppressive shit capitalism that is, a blight on the earth. You see those posts that are like, we were born and we could have had, living in nature, barefoot in wet grass, eating fruit fresh from the trees, making love and all day, making music, having community, and just living, being a part of the earth from which we have sprung, being at one with nature and truly just living a blissful, happy, full life. But instead, we get Microsoft Excel and office jobs and advertising and taxes and fucking 3 people owning all the wealth in the world while 80% of the planet starves and struggles to survive. Because capitalism. And yes, capitalism is the reason for that. The Industrial Revolution was a shit, capitalism is a fuck, and together it's all a load of shit and fuck. And they're fucking us in the shit, and not in a pleasant way. Not in a consensual way. Not remotely consensual. And yes, everyone needs to make a living, and so let people, if somebody offers them some money to shill for a product, then, let them get that back. And I was about to say, I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm absolutely saying they shouldn't. I'm saying they should have some fucking integrity. It's about integrity. And that's the main thing, is I swipe through, I see the adverts, yes, they're annoying enough. But then you see the face and image and voice of someone who got popular recently online, selling a product they have nothing to do with, and it's just draining. It's just, of course, fucking of course they're just getting the money because money's the important thing. Doesn't matter if they're helping to fill the world with garbage. They're helping to perpetuate advertising, let alone perpetuate the idea of advertisers just grabbing on to fucking whatever's currently popular. Oh, this person's got a lot of likes and views at the moment, let's get them. They don't relate to our product or our message at all, but it doesn't matter, let's just get them because sell shit. It's fucking disgusting. Anyway, so this is something I've drawn before. Somebody bought the drawing, and I sent it to them and it got lost in the post. Oh, I love it when that happens. It's the best. It's happened such an annoying amount in the last couple of years. The postal service is just turning into a fucking joke. It's way more expensive than it used to be. Now, because of fucking Brexit, England isn't part of Europe, which means sending shit to Europe counts as international, so it costs like twice as much, and I have to put customs labels on everything, so it takes longer for me to package it all up and write all the shit on it, and it takes longer for the post office to deal with it all. So when I've got a bunch of packages shipping out across the world, it takes a lot more time and effort and money to do, and now shit just goes missing all the fucking time. The amount of messages I get from people, it's astounding, that say, oh hey Ewan, I ordered this thing from your website, it hasn't arrived yet, just checking that it, have you sent it or whatever. So I check their order and I'm like, yeah, I definitely sent that out, I remember sending it out, and that was months ago, so I guess it's gotten lost. So a lot of the time when that happens, it's just like a couple of comics or something, or like a zine, and for the most part I have enough copies that I'm happy to sort of send another one at no extra cost, because it is what it is. But sometimes actual art goes missing, and I try to get tracking numbers where I can, but I don't know how it is in other places in other countries, but here, at least for international posts, you have to pay extra to get packages tracked, and that extra, it can be quite a lot of money, and I'm sure the person who bought the thing more often than not would be happy to pay extra to have the package tracked, but it's just it's a pain in the arse. It's a pain in the arse. I don't like it. So this drawing went missing, and I've told the person bought a couple of drawings actually, and they went missing. So most annoyingly, they apparently they got to the place they were supposed to go, but then there was a mix-up and they didn't get picked up, and then they got sent back, and then on the way back is when they got lost. So I said to the person, I'm really truly sorry, let me draw something else for you or whatever, I'll make it up to you in some way if I can, let me know what I can do to make it up to you. And they said, well, skeleton drawing was really, really cool. I'd love another version of that if you can do that. So, all that is to say, and now I'm redrawing the fucking thing from memory. I think I have a scanned version of it somewhere, but I had a quick look and couldn't find it, so I figured, I'll just draw it from memory. And maybe it's better to draw it from memory, because then it's not like... It's not just a copy of the drawing you already bought. It's a whole other fucking thing. And it's like a skeleton guy. He's got skin, but it's like see-through. You can see his bones. He's got a skull. I think he had a floating eye as well. I used to draw the floating eyeballs a lot. I don't do them so much nowadays. And his skull was flaming. It was based on a Beast Wreck drawing. Beast Wreck. It's one of the top, like, good Instagram artists to follow. He's really fucking good. Not that he's an Instagram artist, but he's an artist and he is on Instagram. It's based on one of his drawings. I don't think necessarily that drawing was for a draw this in your style thing, but I did it anyway and I enjoyed it. Good time. I think I videoed it. It's on my Instagram probably way back. It's from a couple of years ago or so. And I sold that drawing as part of an art sale, which I do now and again, where I just sell a collection of drawings and things that I have. And fucking so now I got to draw again, which is fun. So good, I drew it twice. And so this is just, obviously, this is very rough. This is me figuring out how I think it looked. To the best of my recollection, he almost certainly would have had his pinky out here. To the best of my recollection, this is how it looked. And then I will draw a neater version of it. Here, probably. And then just rip it out and send it to him. I guess I'll get tracking information for it. I'll pay out the asshole so I can get the fucking thing tracked so it doesn't get lost in transit. I guess we'll see how it goes. Have you heard about this guy? His name's Jesus. Rather than looking at an art book today, I thought I might read something from this. Jesus the Christ. Technically, I'm not supposed to have this book. See, because this is from the missionary reference library. Because this is supposed to be for missionaries to have, to learn from, to talk about Jesus the Christ. But, because I'm better than most people, I have a copy of Jesus the Christ. Fucking look at it. Fucking all about Jesus the Christ. He died at fucking 30-something. How do you write that much about one bloody person? I should set this on fire, really, shouldn't I? Ooh, maybe I'll do that. Oh, if I get to 25,000 subscribers, I'll make a video setting this on fire. Or whatever. Anyway, I thought, you know, since I spent so much time fucking blabbing on about the guy, I'd read a little ha 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 ha. Not really, obviously. I'm not gonna. Jesus Christ, Ewan, is that what you're doing now? Reading about Jesus Christ, Ewan? No, don't be stupid, you fucking idiots. A lot of you pea-brains, and that's PEE brains because you've got brains made out of piss. A lot of you. Ugh. Oh, I'm only joking. I love you all dearly. I care about you. You're all wonderful people. Have you heard about this guy? Ah, this bearded idiot. This also dead bearded idiot. He's like Jesus, but he actually produced something of value. That might be one of the funniest things I've ever said. maybe it's less funny, but like to other people. But as somebody who's from a deeply religious background, that's fucking hilarious. We're going to look at some of the work of Vincent van Gogh. Van Gogh. I think that's how it's pronounced. Shall I Google it? Van Gogh. Yeah, I was right. This is a book about Vincent van Gogh. Van Gogh. Vincencio van Gogh. 1853 to 1890. Something. Isn't he lovely? What do I think of Van Gogh? Well, he's okay. I mean, he's all right. I think he's good. He's pretty good. See, he was right. This, I'm joking around a lot, but I mean, this is a genuine. I'm looking at the art of Vincent van Gogh because I like the art of Vincent van Gogh, and he is one of those artists who I think I might have spoken about when I was looking at the Klimt book. He's one of those artists you learn about in school. And I think because of how you learn about him, he's sort of lumped into this category of artists that are just boring. They're just artists in history that you learn about when you learn about art as this thing. And you go, oh, Picasso, Van Gogh, Liechtenstein, fucking Monet, other art, just that bunch of like old dead artists that you're supposed to learn about because you're told they are important or something. And so you grow up and you see Van Gogh's work and you don't think much of it. At least I didn't personally. You see Starry Night and you go, ooh, lines and swirly bits, great. But if you are in the arts and you gain more of an appreciation of like painting, if you really take the time to sort of understand Van Gogh as a person, where he came from, what he was doing at the time, it's really quite something. I love this piece. I mean, it's a Bible, so, but I love how he painted it. There's glare on it from where I'm sitting. I'm just checking that it's not. See, that's what I'm seeing from where I'm sat, from the light on the. But I guess it's fine for you. I like that he didn't do what most people, maybe a lot of people, me probably, would feel compelled to do when it comes to like painting a Bible, is to draw like lots of squiggly lines in place of the lettering. Rather than do that, he painted like a grey colour, because if you stand away from a Bible, the text is going to look like just grey shapes on the page. Sorry, I feel a sneeze coming on. I don't want to feel a sneeze coming on my face. It's allergy season, that's what it is. So I like that he's got like, he painted it like that instead of a square. It's only a small. This is impressive. That's an impressive painting. If I had to sit down and paint this, what is it, a loom or something, I'd hate to have to do that. In fact, quote from Vincent van Gogh, I assume in a letter to his brother or something. They wrote to each other, they were gay like that. If you ask me what I'm working on at the moment, I can tell you that I have my hands full with a large picture showing a weaver, the loom in the very foreground, the figure as a dark silhouette against a white wall. I'll have no end of trouble with these looms, but they present such a wonderful challenge. The old oak wood against the greyish wall, and I am quite sure that they are worth being painted. So he even said that this shit is a pain in the arse to paint. You see it, it's a painting of a loom, sure, nothing too extravagant or grand about it as a piece of artwork. But then you sit down and try and draw and paint a loom. There's bits and there's lots of straight lines, and like it'd be really easy to fuck it up and have it look dumb. And this isn't the grandest painting in the world, it's not the best painted picture in the world, but you can imagine him just. And ultimately, he was always really an amateur artist. He never really was an artist properly. So to sit and paint something like that, that's fucking something, man. And he spoke about how it wasn't as easy as just painting a loom. He put some effort in. He put some fucking effort in. And that's one of the sort of grandest take. Ooh, her eyes are a bit fucky. You wonder if her eyes were actually, because you can see this eye's a bit like, whoop. And that happens. People's eyes are rarely, if ever, completely aligned. But you wonder, were her eyes actually like that, or did he just fuck the painting up a bit? I don't know. As one of the my biggest takeaways from Van Gogh, his life and his work, is the effort he put in really does show somebody who just has to create. They have to draw. They have to paint. Which in a way is almost the sign of like a true artist. It's not someone who decided to be an artist, is not a content creator. It's not someone who's painting for anything specific. It's this innate thing in him that's just like, I have to. He sort, he had these Japanese prints, and these are paintings he did of them, which is cool. His studies. I copy Bisley's work. Van Gogh copied Japanese master prints and shit. Did the lettering and stuff down the sides. I mean, that's great. It's like, and it is, you can see in the brushwork and stuff that it is like a very Van Gogh version of these Japanese prints, which is really, really cool to see. But it just speaks to that inherent built-in need to create. He just has to he sees things in a certain way, and he just is compelled to put onto a canvas an image of what he's seeing and what he's feeling. And he talks about that a lot, about how the impressionist artists sort of looked down on him for, almost his lazy brush strokes, how quickly he painted. He didn't take care, his sort of garish use of colours sometimes. But he was really doing what most impressionists should have been doing, which is really creating a vision of how you feel about what you are looking at. Which is not easy to do, frankly. I can draw some shit and make it look cool. I can draw a goblin with his willy out, and it's going to look like a goblin with his willy out. But like to create a piece of art that really expresses how you are feeling through use of colour, use of brush strokes, literally the movement of your body as you are painting it. A lot of what he did is studies, but even then, in his use of colours and stuff, it looks naturalistic, but it is heightened or something. I don't know. Fucking whatever. I don't like all of his art, by the way. Let me just say that. Like, his portraits are cool. It's not like I don't like all of his. I don't know what I'm talking. I'm just trying to fill the space with words at the moment. But he painted a lot. He painted thick and fast, and like something like this is a perfect example where you can look at it and you can see that it's sort of, you could almost say it's painted very amateurishly in terms of like detail and sort of proportions and stuff. But the whole orange blue thing, like if you Google orange blue movie posters or DVD covers or whatever, there's a billion of them where they use the contrast of orange and blue. And he didn't invent it, obviously. Van Gogh didn't invent that. But this is such a fucking fantastic use of colour the heat and the light of this restaurant, surrounded by the deep, cold blues of the night sky and the buildings in the distance, with the orange windows and stuff. I'm sure that's probably at least somewhat how it looked as he was seeing it, as he painted it. But he captured something so fucking brilliant in that. Like, this would be the sort of thing, if I paint something like this, maybe in my style, whatever, and put it on Instagram, people would say, wow, the lighting's so good, I love how you use colour to do the thing and the thing. Because it's wildly impressive. And, you know, ultimately, sadly, he really wasn't. Like, it's so cliche to talk about, if you're going to talk about Van Gogh, the fact that he wasn't appreciated in his time. But he really wasn't. And, you know, most, if not all, art scholars today will tell you Van Gogh is one of, like, the greatest artists to have ever lived, for his ability to inject that level of genuine feeling into his work that many artists just didn't. I like this one because you can see, like, he paints, you know, the Japanese prints in the background, which I really like. Drawings of drawings, paintings of paintings. It's a painting of a print in the background with his easel there. I also like it because in here there's the that. That's me, as me and Van Gogh, and as me and Van Gogh. I haven't seen this painting in quite a long time, maybe even since I drew this. I forgot that he was basically clean shaven. So the fact that I'm basically clean shaven in the photo I took to draw from to make this piece, it's pretty brilliant. It's more accurate. Look at the eyes and everything. Isn't that great? Oh, aren't I just brilliant? See, because I'm like Van Gogh, not appreciated in my own time, religious background, could have gone off to be a missionary, not appreciated in my own time, gorgeous red beard, sexy as hell, not appreciated in his own time. Me and Van Gogh. And he painted a bunch of other shit, and that's the end. Haha, not really, but yeah. I think I had some more things to say. This is a fantastic portrait. This is one of those portraits where you're shown it, or you see it when you're younger, when you're being taught about art, the art world, famous artists, famous pieces of artwork. You see this portrait. I mean, and you see every portrait of Van Gogh all the time, but you see this one a lot. And because of that, you sort of file it away in the back of your mind as shit I don't really need to worry about. But then if you actually look at it and sort of, like, really look at it, like, for instance, if you sort of relax your eyes and notice that the lighting is sort of like, there's this light patch here and on his nose is so much brighter. It almost looks too bright compared to the shadowed part of his face. And the shadow isn't just like a dark skin colour, it's a greenish, sort of grey-green turquoise colour, which fits the colour scheme of, you know, the jacket and the background and all. Which is... It's not outrageous, it's not beyond belief that he was doing that, but it's such an attention to detail almost, that he's not defaulting to just a darker skin tone. He's using colour in the shadow as the shadow, and then the highlight is like super highlight, and it's very likely that this is almost exactly how he looked wherever he was situated when he painted the portrait. The brushwork in his hair, and the brushwork on the portrait itself is it's made up of lots of little sort of like short dashes of paint rather than big blobs of sweeping or blended colour or whatever. The colouring in his beard is fantastic. Again, it's not just orange, like a swath of orange across the bottom of his face. There's different colours and tones within his beard. Again, he's obviously paying attention to the detail of what he's looking at. Different colorations where the lighting is affecting how it looks differently. And the brush strokes used in the face are sort of go into and become exaggerated in the clothing and then become exaggerated even more in the background. It's like it goes from super abstract to slightly abstract to ever so slight abstraction, but then more realistic within the actual portrait itself. It's such an impressive painting that it's easy to look at and go, yeah, it's a portrait, whatever. But again, if you actually take the time to actually study it, it's really quite something. Sure, Starry Night, yeah, we all love that. It's impressive. How he captured all the fucking... One of my favourite things is that you can see the canvas underneath the brushstrokes, which just shows like how immediate he's trying to get this shit out of him. He has to paint. He's not even bothering to like use underpainting, or it probably didn't even prime the canvas. It looks like raw canvas. There might be some kind of primer on it, but he's just these crazy wild brushstrokes, but controlled enough that they are meaningful and they have shape and they create, an image. And he really did capture something in this piece that any other painting of the same night sky by like a more traditional, at the time, what might have seemed more legitimate artist would have painted the night sky and it just been a painting of the night sky. This really created something unique, which, I've put my heart and soul into my work and have half lost my mind in the process. And I mean, this was painted, as far as I'm aware, from the window of a mental ward or something like that, I believe. Yeah, it's quite a cool painting of his room, I guess, if you're into that. It's a pretty nice study. Again, the colours. And again, he probably was just painting what he saw, but like films try to do this, like good films, good TV shows. Severance was really good for it as a very recent example in terms of paying very close attention to the colouring of the scene and the colour of like the background, the colour of the characters, the colour clothing that everyone's wearing within a scene, be they passers-by, background characters, the main characters. Everything has such attention paid to it to make each scene like a cohesive image rather than just a scene in a TV show. To get something like this, the blue and the yellow, and then the blue within the yellow and the yellow within the blue, it's a lot going on. It looks simple. It looks like just a study of a couple of farmers resting in the hay or whatever, but it's fucking impressive. He was good. Was our Vincent. I really love this piece. While I was working in the shoe store, they did a series of, I think it was Doc Martens, did a series of boots, like artist edition boots. I think this was like, it might have been Vans as well. Vans, yeah, I think Doc Martens had just some art edition boots, and then I think Vans had specific Van Gogh, Vans or Converse. And this was a print on one of them, and I was tempted to get some, but I didn't care enough. and still don't really. I mean, it's cool, but I fucking whatever. I don't have too much more to say, other than this is missing half of it. There's another half here. You can see there's a torn edge because I tore the page out to put it in a frame. So you can see where I tore the. So I talk about, that other portrait, but this one, I think this might be one of my favourite paintings of Van Gogh's overall. As you may be able to see, it's quite a lot more realistic than some of his other portraits, but again, it's how he's painted it. It's the not just that he used little brush strokes, but like they're very purposefully directional, like on the skin and stuff, and the way he is using separate colours as light and dark instead of just a darker version of the same colour. The greens in his eyebrows and his beard, the different tones, and again the movement of the line work. And you can see across his nose is really impressive, where he's using the brush strokes to like really what's the term? Fucking contour. Almost the brush strokes are almost contour lines, sort of wiggling around the shape of the nose and the cheek and stuff. They're really, really purposeful. The shadow in the eyes, the shape of the head even, it's a really, really, really good portrait, and that's why I tore it out of the book and put it in a frame, and it hangs on my wall for now. Van Gogh, he's all right. Oh, but how did I get it drawn so perfectly, almost the exact right size on this page from there? Wow, I'll tell you, I traced it there, and then I traced the tracing there. No shame in it, especially since it's my drawing. Like if I had traced Beast Rex original drawing in order to make my own artwork from it, then you'd have a case to say, well, come on now, Ewan, that's a bit much tracing. You trace in your artwork, how dare you? Real artists don't trace in their artwork, they do everything by hand. Well, I mean, I trace by hand, but sorry, I'm having intestinal problems. But tracing my own drawing, it's not really. And fuck you, I'll trace. I don't give a shit. I'll do what I want. Do whatever I want to create the work I'm trying to create. And if tracing will help that happen, then I'll fucking trace, you cunt. Specifically if it's my own drawing. I trace my own drawing. I mean, you've seen me lightbox shit. It's all the time. I think I decided. On this version, I don't think I'll make the guy see-through with his bones visible, but I may do the shading in such a way that his skin is very thin and the bones are almost sort of visible through the skin because the skin's so thin and tight on like here. So I'll sort of shade it like this, so it kind of looks like the bones are like near visible through the skin, kind of. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? Does that track? Does that work? Does that come across what I'm trying to do? You get it. Some years ago now, not many years ago, but some, a dear friend of mine whose tastes I trust very much suggested that I watch Bo Burnham's Inside, his one man, one room musical comedy show. And I will admit I was skeptical. See, because I've never liked musical comedy. I mean, my tastes in comedy these days are sort of dwindling as it is. But I never have liked musical comedy for various reasons. I think, like, for one thing, I like music. I love music. But I like music as music. I don't feel that music needs to be. I don't take anything from music being put into other stuff, like music in films and shows, like as background music or as a score for the, like, cool, sure, it works. But when people stop what they're doing to have a little sing song, it just feels like, ugh, just continue the fuck. Also, I mean, people in video games talk about immersion a lot. And for me, when people start singing, it really breaks immersion, because it's like, oh, this isn't a real world I'm sort of watching and feeling like I'm a part of. It's a bunch of actors running around having a little sing-song. It's boring. I don't like it. And also, in terms of comedy specifically, very often at the start of like a funny song, I get the joke, like, already when they start singing. Maybe they get the first verse out of the way and it's like, oh, okay, that's what the song's about. It's making a comment on this, or it's a parody of that. It's telling this joke. I get it. And then the song goes on, sometimes for minutes and minutes, and it's like, I get it. I get the joke. You can stop doing the joke now, because I get the joke. And there are times where repeating the joke for specific comic effect can be enjoyable sometimes. But in terms of like musical comedy, it's never been something that quite tickles my balls in the right way. And it's not really something I care for. And Bo Burnham fits into that category. He is like a musical comedian. That's basically his shtick. That's what he does. That's what he started doing. That's how he got sort of known in the first place, was doing funny little songs on the internet or whatever. But so I've tried watching Bo Burnham's older shows and I just can't sit through them. Like, he's good at what he does. He is very, very good at what he does. And he is funny. He's not typically my tastes of like funny or whatever. But I just can't sit through the musical comedy like that. It's just, it doesn't speak to me. It's not what I like or enjoy. So when I was when it was suggested that I check out his new show Inside, when it was a new show, I was a bit like, I don't want to sit through a bunch of funny musical things. I don't like it. Don't make me do it. But I did it anyway. And I'm not going to say it was life-changing, because it wasn't strictly that, but it was very impactful watching Inside by Bo Burnham. At points, it was almost irritatingly, annoyingly, almost angeringly impactful, which I will explain why. But I mean, the way it was made is very impressive. It's him locked in a room because of COVID and all this, and he made an entire special on his own in a room, recorded all the songs, and the songs, they're very well written and very short and sweet, importantly. And it's not just songs, he also does bits as well. But I mean, that's almost one of the annoying things though. Like, the songs, they're good. It's not like they're just, oh, here's a funny plinky plonky funny comedy song. It's like, for the most part, they're all good. They're good songs. They're played well, they're produced well, they're well written, they're well performed. They fit into the vibe of what he's doing overall with the show, and it's just like like I say, just annoyingly fucking good. And this, me talking about it now isn't, my point isn't to talk about Inside for however long I'm talking about it, but to sort of give you an example of what I will be talking about. And it's the way that the show overall, it really does say something. It has such sometimes deep meaning to it. It comes from a very personal place. He clearly put a lot of himself into it, a lot of thought, a lot of effort, blood, sweat, tears, and whatever. And it is the sort of thing, if you have a heart, you come away from really feeling something afterwards. It can be a very meaningful experience to watch it. I forced another friend to watch it, and they had almost the same sort of takeaway from it, that, like, damn, that's incredible. Like, the fact that one person just created this thing. I will, as a quick aside, there are people out there going, well, Bo Burnham made this whole thing just with a camera and in one room. Just that's all you need, and you can just make something as good as that. And, like, that dismisses the years and years of work and perfecting his craft. If you watch the show, you realise, he doesn't just have a camera and, like, a keyboard. He has mountains of equipment and cables and whatever that go into this, and it took him, I don't know, years, a year and a half, years, multiple years to make, painstakingly to put together, to shoot multiple times, multiple takes for all the songs, to edit the whole thing was probably a nightmare. Like, so, and which is to say, the craft of it is hugely impressive. Not just the content, but the craft itself, which is largely what I look for in these sorts of productions and things. So yeah, just hugely impressive piece of work. Annoyingly so. And one of the main things I did end up taking away from it was this feeling that I should be doing more with my art. Like, I should be doing that with my art. Not that I should be striving to make my own version of Inside through, a visual art rather than musical. And I mean, Inside was visual, obviously, but, as like a visual art, like the visual arts, painting, drawing, whatever, rather than multimedia. You get it. So not that I should make my own version of Inside, but that I should create art that people really not relate to. I mean, there's relatable art. There's mountains of relatable art online. It gets loads of likes on Instagram. But that people don't just look at and relate to, but they really connect with it, and they really take something from it. Like making art that really causes feelings in people, that says something, that has not necessarily a message, but just has a deepness to it that people connect with and take something from. And I've thought that to the degree that it almost creates like an existential crisis within me of like, what the fuck is my art doing if it's not doing that, if it's not creating that, if people aren't feeling something from my art, like, what am I doing? Almost, what's the point? What's the point in continuing if I'm not gonna, if people aren't really gonna take anything away? What's it all for? And all of that is to say, I feel maybe annoyingly recently I had a sort of I don't know, kind of an epiphany almost in response to that feeling that I should be doing more with my art, which is I think it's important as an artist to, or maybe it's important for me as an artist to sort of accept where you're at. Not that you shouldn't strive for more, you shouldn't try to improve, or if you feel there is something you want to say, that you shouldn't try to say it. But if your art isn't the type of art that tries to give a deep, meaningful message, trying to force a deep, meaningful message onto that art is probably going to be for the worst rather than for the better, if that makes sense. And I think that's maybe the best way I can put it is if you suddenly get the feeling that like, oh, I wish my art said more, and you make the same kind of art you normally do but just try to cram a message into there, it's going to feel forced. It won't feel genuine, and therefore whatever message you're trying to put out there, it's not going to land with as much impact as it probably should do if you're trying to send a message. And if you do have something to say, you should find a way to say it within the context of the art you create. So the I don't know, part of the feeling for me personally is I should do like an autobiographical comic or graphic novel or something, and try to make it this meaningful thing, put real thought and feeling into it, try to put a message in there, and make it this thing that people really like feel when they look at it. But maybe that's not what my art is supposed to do. I mean, I put feeling in now and then. I do. I make relatable content now and then. I do. But maybe my art isn't conducive to a Bo Burnham's Inside type of messaging or whatever. Maybe it's just supposed to be, or maybe the art itself, the fact that I sit here week after week creating, filling sketchbooks, talking about fucking Jesus or cum or whatever, Jesus and cum, mixed in a blender and then flushed down a toilet where they belong. That's where cum belongs, by the way. You should always come into a toilet directly, not inside of another person. Well, that got off topic quickly, didn't it? Maybe that's my message, and that is a message I have tried to put out there. So maybe rather than try to focus on like, oh, what can I say? What can I do that's meaningful? What can I create that's impactful, that means something to people? Maybe I can realise that like the fact that I am creating is something to people. Not that. I also I don't feel like you should create based on how people will react to it, and that is, you know, what I do. I don't. I mean, I make these videos somewhat, especially more recently, for the audience that enjoys them, but I'd likely still be making them even if the audience wasn't there. I'd say, you know, but I do tell people that you know, my art, where my art comes from and where it sort of is situated, and I can only assume where it's going to end up, is sort of everything you see. It's spending hours sitting in front of your sketchbook, filling up page after page with fucking whatever, because that's just what you as a person do. Like Van Gogh, you have this inherent thing in you that just says, "Oh, just draw, fill up the pages, draw this, draw that, draw these, just keep drawing and drawing." Maybe it's all you've got. Maybe it's your escape from the world. Maybe it's your escape from other things in your life. Maybe it's something you've always wanted to do, and you're trying and trying and trying to just get good at some kind of artwork, so you spend hours and hours and hours trying to perfect whatever it is you're doing. And that's, at least I feel, maybe that is the message, that it's not about what can I make that says something. It's more about I am creating, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the creation is the thing. The fact that you sit and draw a funny little skeletal guy with a flaming skull and a floating eyeball, that's the whole thing. And maybe it's not as deep and meaningful and funny and musical as Bo Burnham's Inside, but you know, let's see Bo Burnham draw something this cool. Go on, Bo. You get a fucking... You draw some shit directly into ballpoint pen. See how good you do at that. Maybe I can't play the piano. Maybe I can't sing a sing song and make a funny video about welcome to the internet. But let's see you draw a cool fucking skull and shit. You prick. Bo Burnham. Fucking prick.